But since we're on the topic of the Champions League, I would love to hear from everybody what you're thinking about these upcoming men's Champions League fixtures coming up as well. I thought about making a preview video. I don't know that I'm going to have time because the next days are looking very busy for me. So I figured I would just go ahead and talk about it now. But if you have thoughts, I want to know for the few people who are in here right now, what are your predictions for Champions League? Chelsea versus Real Madrid and Manchester City versus PSG. Let me know those in the comments, and we can get on to those games in a little bit. AZC says, gotta rock with Chelsea. Well, yeah, I expected you to say that. AZC, the noted Chelsea fan in the comments. D Vic, noted Barca fan in the comments, saying both games are toss-ups. I'm with you, man. I am really struggling to call these. I can't lie. I think Real Madrid, to me, would be a slight favorite over Chelsea. To me, that one, I think there's a little more gap between the teams, but PSG and Man City, I really have no idea. Like, I think that game could turn out just a lot of different ways, and I think it depends a lot on what systems teams go with and who's available, those types of things. But from a Man City perspective, what I'm really curious about them is we've seen Pep Guardiola go sometimes with he'll switch up and add two defensive midfielders in some of these big games. He did that against Chelsea in the FA Cup semifinal. He played Rodri and Fernandinho. I'm curious if maybe he tries to do that in this game as well, just knowing the problems that Neymar especially can cause in that 10 position. But also, of course, Mbappe and Di Maria as well. And I don't know if they're going to have Verratti available. So that will be a big question mark as well. I mentioned that before, how crucial he is to them. I've said that in a few different videos. But if they have him, then again, having that extra person in midfield to kind of break it up would be interesting. Pep, it's burned Pep in the past. I mean, again, if we want to refer to that FA Cup semifinal against Chelsea, I think that was an area where Manchester City were let down a little bit because they didn't really need two defensive midfielders in that game. But it's something that I think Pep also did in their loss to Lyon last year in the Champions League. So I wonder if he changes it. I always get this feeling about Pep that he starts to overthink in certain games. And I think this might be a moment where he's going to be, really thinking about, what should I tweak here? What should I tweak here? Just because he's such a perfectionist and he wants to game plan right. Vic said Verratti played yesterday, so he'll be back. Oh, good to know. I think that does definitely make me a lot more likely to favor PSG in this game. God, both these teams are just so good. I'm really sad that this is not a potential final. That's kind of how I feel about the Barca PSG women's game as well. Like, I just wish those two teams could have played in the final. But yeah, what else did he say? If Chelsea are in more trouble, if Chelsea are more clinical than Liverpool were, Madrid are in trouble. Bro, that's a big if, though, because look who they got up top right now. Timo Werner. How many goals does Kai Havertz have for Chelsea this season? Like 3? Ziyech. I mean, they could play Giroud. Who knows? Like, clinical is not the first word that comes to mind when I think of Chelsea. Really, the only clinical player they have on their team is Mason Mount. I think they will need a big Mason Mount performance to go through against Real Madrid, because Madrid's midfield is just so good, and they have so much more experience, which is why, again, I would favor them in this, because when you're relying on like a 20 or 21-year-old, whatever Mount is, to be your main creator and one of your main goal threats as well, going up against Casemiro, Kroos, Modric, I don't know if I had that much faith in Chelsea, but I've been saying that this whole time. I said it in the FA Cup. I've said it throughout the Champions League. I've always thought that Chelsea were going to go out at various stages, and they keep making it happen. So like, shout out to Tuchel. He's done a great job with them, and what has been the big success for them is that they've been so solid defensively, and so I think this is going to be so cagey. Like, I think this has the potential to be really boring to watch, actually. Just in that the both of these teams, like they've been very solid defensively. Even Madrid without Ramos and at times without Varane, they've been able to put together some really strong defensive performances in La Liga. AZC says, keep doubting us. Yeah. Maybe I'm the jinx. I just need to keep picking against Chelsea, and then they'll go through. But in that case, then I think I need to actually pick Chelsea in this one, because I want to see them go out. I hate Chelsea more than I hate Real Madrid. So, but everybody's got a different opinion there. But honestly, though, it's funny that you say that, AZC, because like, I think that's where Chelsea are thriving right now. Like they're so used to being, in just more in that favorite role, and I think they're kind of embracing the whole underdog thing, and I think so is Tuchel, because Tuchel had a much different pressure that was on him at PSG when it came to the knockouts, especially in the Champions League, and I think he's really enjoying the chance to. Not that it's like more freedom necessarily. You don't see that on the pitch, but I think just a less pressure. I think it has done a lot for him in terms of just his confidence levels and the inspiration that he's given out to the players. I wonder if Pulisic will start as well, because I know he's started a few games recently for Chelsea, and he's looked pretty good when he's played, but he tends to get subbed off. So that's the thing with Chelsea. I don't think they've had enough like consistency among their front three, and that's another reason that I kind of keep picking against them, because I'm like, okay, what is I don't even know what their best lineup is. Whereas, Madrid, it's a lot more settled, like who you're going to see in this game. So, yeah, that one should be interesting as well. I'm really looking forward to these games. Yeah, I hope he starts. You never know right now. Yeah, hard to know, but hey, he's done it on the biggest stage before. People forget that he scored in the FA Cup final against Arsenal last year before Arsenal came back. So, he's done it at the highest level, and he could join Tyler Adams in being the Americans to score in the Champions League quarterfinals, or I guess Adams was quarterfinals last year, not semis, but he could keep setting records. But yeah, that's kind of my thoughts on those games. Again, really looking forward to it. And like I said, I didn't really have time to come up with a preview this week, so you probably won't see any videos on that. But I am going to do one for Arsenal taking on Villarreal, because that game has a lot going on. There's a lot of storylines. There's a lot to say. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that one. So you will get a preview on that one, if not Champions League. But I've got work, I've got physical therapy, and I'm also getting my second shot on Wednesday. So I'm actually going to miss some of the Man City, probably the end of the City PSG game, which I'm really, really sad about. But, we all got to get vaccinated. Some things are a little bigger than soccer. So, hey, I hope all of you are getting your shots too. But yes, so AZC says, you think Man City and PSG is high scoring? Initially, I thought it'd be a lot of goals, but now I don't know. I'm not sure, because I think the reason that the PSG and Bayern tie was so exciting and so high scoring was mostly because of Bayern, because Bayern play this like suicidal high line at times where they're just going to high press as much as possible and leave their defenders all the way up the field. And PSG really exploited that at times, which is what made the tie interesting. City don't do that as much. They do have a little bit of that to them. I mean, Dortmund created plenty of chances across those two legs as well. And I would argue that PSG's attack is more dangerous than Dortmund's is. But I think they're pretty similar in terms of especially the way that they can hit you on the counter. And so I think that it will look very similar to that, more so than maybe the Bayern and PSG one. Whereas, because that one finished what, like 4-3 or something like that, 4-5-4, something like that. Whereas the Dortmund and City one was like 3-1, I think. So I don't know. I think it will be a little bit more low scoring because when you actually think about these two teams, the way that these teams have gone from we're really good, but we kind of go out in the quarters or the semis into we want to be in that finalist discussion has been defensively. Last year, PSG was the best defensive team in the Champions League, and then obviously they did end up getting beat in the final. But like to me, what has kept them going has been Navas, has been Marquinhos, has been Kimpembe being unreal for them. The one concern for me on PSG is Dogba because he he was getting cooked left and right throughout the Champions League. And bro, if Dortmund actually had Sancho and had him available to torture Dogba, or sorry, they played Bayern. It was Coman. Coman was the one that was absolutely cooking him out wide. So yeah, I think that's an area where City could have some chances if you look at like Foden, or I mean Mahrez wouldn't play on that side, but definitely Foden, Sterling. I think they could have some strength. But City's the same defensively, like Diaz, Stones, Laporte. They've been elite all season. And as I said, if Guardiola goes with two defensive midfielders, then I mean that's a team that's really tough to break down. Vic says Neymar is key to this game. If he draws fouls and holds the ball, it'll help PSG play against City's possession. Yeah, that's very true. I think there's a great danger when you play teams like Manchester City where they want to keep the ball so much, in that it's easy to fall into, all right, we're just going to go ahead and counterattack the whole game. We can stay on the back feet. And when you're a team like PSG, it's easy to do because you have Mbappe as your outlet and you have Neymar who could do so much on the counter. But I agree, Vic. I think if he's able to get all the ball more and help them keep possession, and this is, again, an area where I think Verratti will make a huge difference, actually being able to keep the ball instead of being constantly under pressure the entire time, I think that would give PSG a much better chance in this game, because I think sometimes teams give City too much respect. Like it's difficult to say because sometimes City are really just that good, but I think you have to pressure them a little bit. You have to make them a little bit uncomfortable because it's just so hard to keep them out, especially in a two-legged tie for 180 minutes. If you're going to be playing with, 30-35% possession, it's just the odds are against you. The way that City play and how good they are, how many players they have that can cause problems. I agree, Vic. I think actually getting on the ball, especially Neymar, especially Verratti for me, and Di Maria, not feeling the need to constantly go straight to goal every time and go straight to Mbappe every time. You do need some of that. I'm sure that they could find opportunities on the counter, but they have to pick and choose very carefully. And those are going to be the type of margins, like literally decisions that simple can make a huge difference. Yeah, man. Oh, they're going to be such good games. I'm so excited. And I'm so sad that I'm going to miss some of that first leg. Isn't PSG's goalie playing out his mind recently? Yeah, Keylor Navas has been fantastic. There's a stat that I think he's never lost a two-legged Champions League game before when he's been the starter. For Madrid, I mean, he won the Champions League with Madrid, and then PSG, the only game that he's lost in the Champions League with them has been the final last year. So that was one leg. So that's why the stat works. But yeah, Navas has been incredible recently. He was really good against Bayern, against Barcelona, even if you go back to the quarterfinals, or was it the round of 16? I don't know. But the second leg, he kept Barca from coming back in that. I'm sure Vic remembers. But yeah, there it is. Yep. Yeah, Navas has been out of his mind. So that could be a difference maker too. I mean, that's the thing. Ederson, as much as people really, rate him, and I like Ederson a lot as a goalkeeper because in terms of playing with his feet, I think it's for me, it's between him and Neuer for best goalkeeper in the world, and like rushing out of his area again, very similar to Neuer, but shot stopping wise, he's a little questionable. He's had some real shaky moments for Manchester City in the past year or two. So, you know, with the finishers that PSG have, I think I would definitely give the goalkeeping edge to Navas in this game for sure. And you know, I love a good goalkeeper, so yeah, I appreciate you bringing up the goalkeepers there. But yeah, if y'all have any other thoughts, let me know. Otherwise, I think I will move on to the Arsenal women's game in just a sec. But I will definitely let y'all get off some comments if you have.